Hello guys, let's continue the book Key to IELTS. Last time we read this page, right? And today we are going to continue with the other page. Bilan ko'p chiqdik. Hammasini. Juda ham informativ bo'ldi. Davom etamiz kitob o'qishda. How and why you may be practicing bands 3 to 5 task achievement. Interesting. 3 bilan 5 orasida qanaqa qilib praktika qilib yurganingiz. Many people fail to show some of the key aspects of task achievement in their task 1 answers. This may occur because they want to spend as much time as possible on their task 2 answer. Yes, effectively stealing time from writing task 1. Yes, this is what I do actually. Even I do not spend much time on my task 1. I spend more time on my task 2 because I believe and I know that task 2 is worth more than task 1. But she's saying that it is wrong. Looking at the lower bands, you can begin to see that writing too quickly could easily lower your score. Band 5. Generally addresses the task. The format may be inappropriate in places. Recounts detail mechanically with no clear overview. There may be no data to support the description. Presents but inadequately covers key features. There may be a tendency to focus on details. Ya'ni eng muhim joylarni o'zinikini olib yozib qo'ygan degan ma'noni chiqarib beryapti. To'g'rida. Attempts to address the task but does not cover all the key features. Hamma unaqa muhim key featurelarni yozmasgan. The format may be inappropriate. Ya'ni format degani o'sha body paragraphlari is introduction, conclusion bo'lish. May confuse key features with detail. Detallar bilan asosiy featurelarni adashtirib yuborar ekan. Ya'ni asosiy feature yozish o'rniga detal yozib qo'yish mumkin ekan. Parts may be unclear. Qaysidir qismlari tushunarsiz, irrelevant, bog'liq bo'lmagan, repetitive, o'zini o'zi takrorlagan va inaccurate, ya'ni tartibli emas. Uchlik, band score 3, fails to understand the task tushunmasdan, which may have been completely misunderstood, butkul noto'g'ri tushuntirilgan. Presents limited ideas, ideyalar cheklangan, which may be largely irrelevant va bu bog'liq bo'lmasligi mumkin yoki inaccurate or repetitive, takrorlanishi mumkin bo'lgan holat. So these are the problems, right? 3-4-5lik task 1 task achievement, writing task 1 task achievement dagi 3-4-5 score mana shu muammolar mana. I have seen examples of each of these problems in the sample answers sent to me, even those written by people who are currently scoring band 7 overall and hoping to reach band 8. Wow. Hattoki 7lik yozayotgan, 7-8 olish xohlayotgan odamlarda ham shunaqa muammo bor ekan. 7 olib bo'lgan hozir endi 8 ga harakat qilayotgan odamlarda. Qaranglar, daraja 7, overall score 7, lekin men bu 5, 4, 3 dagi xatolarni mana shu xatolar mavjud ekan ularning inshosida. This tells me that writing task 1 may be holding people back from their goal far more than they realize, as the following table shows. Task 1 7 7 6 6 5. This may be more of a problem than you think. Hop. Aha, tushunarli, qaranglar. Agar task 1 is 7, task 2 is 9 bo'lsa, overall 8,5 chiqar ekan. Task 1 7, task 2 8 bo'lsa, overall 8 chiqar ekan. Task 1 6, bu yog'i 8 bo'lsa, overall 7,5 chiqar ekan. Look, task 2 ni 8 lik yozib turib, tushunarli. Task 1 5 bo'lsa, lekin task 2 8 bo'lsa, overall 7 olar ekansiz. Task 1 5, task 2 7 bo'lsa, overall 6,5 olar ekansiz. Xullas, task 1 juda katta rol o'ynar ekan. Tushunarli. Mana bu 8, mana bu 7 bo'lsa 8, bu 8 bu 5 bo'lsa, qaranglar 7 chiqib qolyapti. Bir bal pastga tushirib yuboryapti. Okay, task 1 is really important now, I understand. If you don't take the time to select key features, then you are more likely to recount details mechanically. Similarly, if you don't then analyze these key features to identify the main trends, patterns, or stages. You'll not be able to present a clear overview. Thus, task achievement is linked to both time management and thinking before writing. Demak, task 1da ham xuddi task 2 kabi vaqtni boshqarish muhim ekan va yaxshilab fikrlash kerak ekan. Key idea. This is the key idea, like mana shu hozir o'qiganimizda eng asosiy anaqa summarysi, asosiy main point. You are likely to list or recount details mechanically and lower your TA score if you begin writing as quickly as possible and or you are unsure about it. The difference between details and key features: how to clearly present, highlight key features, how to give a clear overview, how to select information. Demak, tez razi task 1 ni analiz qilmay turib yozib ketadigan bo'lsangiz, tezroq yozib task 2 ga o'tib ketaman degan fikr bilan yozadigan bo'lsangiz, siz bu yerda detal bilan key feature farqini ajrata olmay qolar ekansiz. How to clearly present, qanoq qilib, tushunarli qilib, tiniq qilib yoritib berish va key featurelarni ko'rsatish qila olmas ekansiz yoki xato qilar ekansiz. Clear overview bera olmas ekansiz, overview bu conclusion va informatsiyani qanday tanlashni bilmas ekansiz, ya'ni noto'g'ri tanlaysiz. Xo'p, detail bilan key featurelarning farqini hozir kitob o'zi tushuntirsa kerak. Men ham to'g'risi bilmayman nima demoqchi bu bilan detail bilan key feature. Key feature deganda men hozir o'zim taxmin qilyapman, mana shu eng yuqori, eng past bo'lgan ko'rsatmalarni olib turib, ko'rsatkichlarni olib turib, keyin ularni yillar bo'yicha alohida detallarga kirishi. Bu detallar asosiy eng yuqori bo'lgan, eng past bo'lgan yoki qaysidir yilda eng ko'zga ko'rinarli bo'lgan jihatlarini olishimiz bu key feature hisoblanadi. So let's continue. Language issues: giving details that are inappropriate or inaccurate. Munosib bo'lmagan yoki to'g'ri bo'lmagan strukturadan foydalanish, ya'ni language deganda bu yerda grammarimiz, so'zlarimiz hammasi kiradi. As we saw earlier, a feature of Band 6 writing is that candidates may give details, the feature of Band 6, right? Candidates may give details that are irrelevant, inappropriate, or inaccurate. Okay. If you are writing in irrelevant information or inappropriate or inaccurate information, then you are going to take 6, not high. Although presenting accurate details can come from writing the wrong information down, for example, writing 50% instead of 35% at Band 6, it is often the result of using words without an awareness of style. Or it may even be the result of using the wrong tense or preposition. Demak, 35% yozish o'rniga 15% yozib qo'yishlik noto'g'ri, inaccurate ma'lumot beriladi. Mana shu inappropriate yoki irrelevant bo'lsa, present simple yozishingiz kerak bo'lsa, past simple yozib qo'ygan bo'lasiz. Trend o'zi hozirgi zamon bo'lsa, perfectlarda yozish o'rniga past simple yozib qo'ygan bo'lsangiz, ya'ni zamon tushmayotgan bo'lsa yoki noto'g'ri so'z qo'yib qo'ygan bo'lsangiz. Because of this, accurate use of language will be a particular focus throughout the lesson in this book. Demak, bu kitobda mana shu darsligimizda accurate use of language ko'p chiqarganmiz, ya'ni tildan to'g'ri foydalanish. Flexibility and precision. Precision aniqlik, flexibility har xillik. To reach Band 7 in lexical resource, you need to, demak, lexical resource kategoriyamizda, ya'ni so'z boylik va so'zni to'g'ri ishlatish kategoriyamizda 7 ga chiqish uchun biz qilishimiz kerak: use a sufficient range of vocabulary. Yetarlicha so'z boylikdan foydalanishimiz kerak. To allow some flexibility and precision, aniqlik va har xillikni ko'rsatib bera oladigan darajada yetarlicha so'z boylikka ega bo'lishimiz kerak ekan. Use less common lexical items with some awareness of style and collocation. Demak, so'zlar birikma holatida kam ishlatiladigan so'zlardan foydalanishimiz kerak, birikmalardan foydalanishimiz kerak deyapti. Flexibility refers to your ability to explain something clearly. Okay, flexibility refers to your ability to explain something clearly even when you don't know exactly the right word to use. To'g'ri so'zni ishlatishni bilmagan holatingizda ham flexibility shuki, to'g'ri so'zni qaysi to'g'ri so'zni ishlatishni bilmayotgan holatingizda ham qaysidir boshqa so'zlarni ishtirok etib yetkazib turib o'sha aytmoqchi bo'layotgan ma'noingizni, maqsadingizni yoritib bera olishingiz bu flexibility deb atalar ekan. Nevertheless, the information and facts you give must be accurate. Lekin shunga qaramay, boshqa usul bilan o'sha narsani tushuntirib berayotgan bo'lishiga qaramay, raqamlar yoki faktlar akkuratni bo'lishi kerak, ya'ni xato ketmagan bo'lishi kerak. Xuddi anaqa 35 yozaman deb 45 yozib qo'ymagan bo'lishingiz kerak. So even if you do not know exactly the right word, hattoki o'sha yerga keladigan mos tushish kerak bo'lgan munosib so'zni bilmasangiz ham, you still need to be precise. Bilmasangiz ham siz aniq yozishingiz kerak, ya'ni precise degani bu yerda oling. Точный, ya'ni berilayotgan sizga raqamlarni noto'g'ri yozib qo'ymasligingiz kerak debdi. To demonstrate this, buni ko'rsatish uchun, look at the following sentence describing changes to a hospital that include adding a footpath so that people can reach a new cafe. Tak, following sentence describing changes to a hospital, demak больницаga qilingan o'zgarishlar that include adding a footpath so that people can reach a new cafe. Demak, yangi kafega yetib bora olishlari uchun yo'l qo'yilgan ekan, больницаga yangi o'zgarish kiritilgan ekan. A new pedestrian way will be added so that visitors can get to the cafe. A new mall will be added so that visitors can go to the cafe. Although both candidates use the wrong words, pedestrian way. The first candidate shows band 7 skills because they use it the words they know with flexibility and enough precision for the reader to clearly understand what is being added. The second candidate had a similar issue, but the result is an inaccurate detail because a mall is a large shopping center and is not the same as a footpath. Demak, bu yerda pedestrian way deganda peshobod yo'l bor-ku, piyodalar yo'lakchasi qo'shilgan degani birinchi gapda va aslida u ham xato, lekin bu ma'noni buzmagan, inaccurate emas. Piyodalar yo'lakchasi deganda o'sha odam yuradigan yo'l ekanligini tushunyapmiz. Da to'g'ri, bu yerda right word, ya'ni mashhurga tushadigan munosib so'z qo'yilgani yo'q, masalan footpathga o'xshagan. Lekin o'shanga ma'no jihatdan yaqin, ya'ni buni o'qigan odam boshqa ma'noga o'tib ketmaydi. Ya'ni o'sha yo'lakni tushunishi sababli ham bu o'sha yetdi oladi debdi. Ikkinchi gapimizda mall deb turib, bu yerda yo'lak tushgani haqida emas, mall bu katta supermarket qurilgani haqida gap ketyapti. Va bu yerda biz o'zi yo'l qurilganini, o'sha kafega olib boruvchi yo'l qurilganini ma'lumotni berishimiz kerak bo'lib turibdi. Ikkinchi kandidat bu yerda magazin haqida gapiryapti. Va shuning uchun ham bu inaccurate bo'ldi, and that's why the second candidate will get lower score. If we think back to the real world applications of this type of writing up the results of research, summarizing sales in an annual report, explaining how a new system works, we can see just how important this precision is. This is another important distinction between task 1 and task 2. The facts you present have to be correct according to the data you are given. Demak, task 1 bilan task 2 ning bitta farqlaridan biri, task 1 da sizga berilgan manbaga asoslangan holda ma'lumotlar, faktlarni yozishingiz kerak ekan. Va точный bo'lishi kerak ekan. Learning high level words. Qo'shnoqchida yuqori darajali so'zlarni o'rganish deb qo'yibdi. Problems often occur when people try to use vocabulary to impress rather than to accurately convey meaning. Muammo shunda odamlar ma'noni yetkazib berishni o'rniga anaqa akkuratli holatda, xatosiz holatda ma'noni yetkazib berish o'rniga vocabulary'sini ko'rsatishga, odamlarni o'sha vocabulary'si bilan hayratda qoldirishga harakat qilayotganida muammolar paydo bo'ladi. Show off qilmaslik kerak yani. My teacher taught me this noun phrase, wild fluctuation. Is it wrong? See vocabulary note. Vocabulary note. To fluctuate means to frequently or continuously change levels or move up and down. Wild, uncontrolled, violent or extreme. And although it is quite possible that the data you are given in a graph will fluctuate, it is highly unlikely that it will do so in a wild way. Demak, wild fluctuation degan manaqa birikmamiz, bu collocationimizda xato bo'larkan. I write 150 new words every day but don't manage to learn all of them. As these comments show, a great deal of emphasis is put on teaching and learning less common vocabulary to prepare for IELTS. This may be because it is easier to focus on this than on developing writing skills. Demak, shu so'z boylikka urg'u berilar ekan, chunki bu writing, ya'ni yozish qobiliyatini rivojlantirishdan ko'ra so'z boylikka yodlatib qo'yish oson ekan. Shuning uchun va bu xato, which are difficult to explain and to measure. There is also a psychological element. Learning long lists of words makes people feel as though they are working hard. Look how many words I learned this week. But this way of thinking gives a false sense of achievement and progress. Demak, gap so'zni yodlashda emas. Previously, I have compared this behavior to a peacock walking in a circle and proudly showing off your feathers. Another bird also comes to mind here, the magpie, who likes to collect objects because they are shiny and colorful without knowing the difference between a diamond ring or a piece of plastic. So, when learning vocabulary, don't be a magpie collecting words without understanding their value. Instead, the best approach is to focus on fully understanding the words you already know, learning how and when to use them effectively, while also occasionally adding more to your vocabulary bank. The vocabulary chapter of my free book, The Key to IELTS Success, explains how to do this. Okay, we will read this book next. The Key to IELTS Success. Keyin o'qiymiz, yozib qo'yaman. The Key to IELTS Success. Okay. The Key to IELTS Success. Va bu yerda aytmoqchi bo'layotgan gapi shuki, yangi so'z o'rganavermaslik kerak. Yangi so'zlarni tushunib-tushunmay yodlab olib, mana while fluctuation o'xshagan tushunib-tushunmay yodlab olgandan ko'ra, o'zi oldin yodlab olgan so'zlaringizni to'liq tushunib, ulardan maksimal foydalanishga harakat qilishingiz kerak deb aytyapti va bu yerda ikki xil qush turini aytyapti. Peacock masalan tovus bor, u o'zini o'sha qanotlarini yoyib turib ko'rsatadi, maqtanadi. Va yana bitta magpie degan qush turi bor ekan, u yaltiragan hamma narsani to'playverar ekan. U olmosmi yoki shisha sinig'imi yoki plastikmi, ya'ni qadrini bilmay turib yaltiragan hamma narsani to'playverar ekan. Bu yerda hozir o'quvchilarni o'sha magpie'ga o'xshatib aytyapti. O'shanaqa bo'lmanglar. Oliy so'zni ko'rsanglar, yaxshi ko'rinsa, ko'zingizga zo'r yaltiragan ko'rinsa, shartta olib yodlab ketavermanglar, ishlatavermanglar insholarda. Avval uni yaxshilab analiz qilinglar, yaxshilab o'rganib olinglar deb aytyapti. Key idea: learning words and phrases without thinking of their meaning or learning how and when it is appropriate to use them will keep you below band 7. Demak, mana asosiy ideyasi, main ideyasi shunaqa bo'lyapti. Siz so'zlarni va birikmalarni, ularni asosiy ma'nosi, haqiqiy ma'nosi tushunmay turib va ularni qano va to'g'ri holatda, qaysi holatda ishlatish kerakligini o'rganmay turib yodlab olishingiz sizni 7 olishdan pastda tushib turadigan faktordir. Ya'ni 7 ololmaskan shunaqa bo'lsangiz. Synonyms and avoiding repetition. Sinonimlar va o'z-o'zingizni takrorlashdan qochish. A second cause of using words inaccurately in task 1 is trying to avoid repetition. Demak, task 1da boshqa shu so'zlarda noto'g'ri ishlatib qo'yishligiga bitta sabablardan biri bu o'zingiz takrorlashdan qochishga bo'lgan intilishdir. Attempting to use as many synonyms as possible creates problems in this task because of the need to be accurate. Maksimal darajada ko'p sinonim ishlatishga harakat qilish bu turdagi vazifamizda, mashqimizda accurate bo'lish uchun muammo tug'diradi. If you are given statistics related to a specific group, teenagers, then you cannot use a more general synonym, young people. Demak, teenagerlar haqida statistika haqida yozmoqchi bo'lsangiz, siz teenagerlarning o'rniga young people deb ishlata olmas ekansiz, chunki teenagerlar umuman boshqa, young people umuman boshqa so'zlar. Teenager masalan 15-20 yoshlarning orasini oladigan bo'lsa, young people 1 yoshdan to 20 yoshgacha bo'lishi mumkin. Similarly, a tiger is a type of cat, but if we are given data for tigers, we cannot apply this to cats in general. Xuddi shunga o'xshagan masalan, tiger ya'ni yo'lbars bu mushuklar turiga kiradi, lekin yo'lbarslar haqida bizga ma'lumot berilgan bo'lsa, biz u ma'lumotni mushuklarga ham mushuklar uchun ham shunaqa bo'ladi deb qabul qila olmaymiz. Remember, there are often times when than simplest, like when than simplest word is the most accurate. I don't know. There are often times when the, maybe it's the simplest. Okay, yeah, it's the simplest word is the most accurate. Don't worry too much about using it several times in your answer. Esda saqlang. Odatda eng sodda, eng oddiy so'z eng akkuratniy so'z hisoblanadi. Eng to'g'ri, eng munosib so'z hisoblanadi. O'sha bitta so'zni bir necha marta ishlatishdan xavotir olmang deyapti. Okay, now we have practice. In the following exercise, you will practice finding and correcting vocabulary errors to make the language more accurate. So let's do it. Okay, where is it? Okay, here we go. So complete the task A below. When you have finished it, think about the question in task B. Then click on show answers to see my comments. Alright, task A. Click on the problem words in a sentence 1 to 5 and replace them with the more accurate word or phrase. Okay, demek almashtirarkanmiz. More accurate words. Slight fluctuations. Rose, reached. Demak men bularni o'rniga qo'yishimiz kerak ekan mana bu gaplarga. The figure for motorcycles registered 50,000 and underwent an increase of 20% over the next 5 years. Tak. Registered 1,000 and underwent an increase of 20% over the next 5 years. Underwent an increase. I don't know. Everything seems to be correct here. In contrast, despite tiny ebbs and flows, the consumption of fish remained relatively stable. Instead of this, we need to use this one more slightly. You know, slight fluctuations. Here underwent an increase o'rniga ishlatishimiz mumkin. Increase it by, I can just say increase it by, but I don't see any problem with underwent an increase of degan strukturasi nimasi xatoligini tushunmadim. Shunchaki uni murakkablashtirib yuborgan, show off bo'lyapti deb tushungan bo'lsa kerak. Masalan, texnik tomondan so'zlarni hozir maqtanishga harakat qilyapti deb. Yo'q, robotga o'xshab yozmasligimiz kerak. Shuning uchun ham haligi gap odatda eng oddiy sodda so'z, eng oddiy so'z eng yaxshi so'z bo'ladi deb shuni nazarda tutib aytgan ekan. These two figures commenced at similar levels at around level at around 150 grams, but then chicken consumption fluctuated to 100 and lamb consumption oscillated to 100. Oh my god. Fluctuated to, I think it's not fluctuated, maybe it's decreased. Drop it 2 grams, and lamb consumption oscillated to these two figures commenced at similar levels at around 150 grams, but then chicken consumption dropped to 190 grams in 1989, and the lamb consumption fell to 105 grams. That's it. Alright, and so this word is not correct, right? Drop it. Yana fail olish kerak. No, it should be drop it. I don't know why this is not ticked, but we will check it. In spite of the slight declivitous trend in the first slight declivitous trend to the first decade, calls generally increase it. Demak, in spite of bo'lsa, bag'i positive, bu tomoni negative bo'lishi kerak. Demak, falling ga sinonim bo'ladi. Falling tushayotgan trendga qaramay, keyin ko'tarilgan debdi. Falling. The figure plummeted from 6% to 5.8% between 1995 and 2000. Plummeted. 6%. Bor yo'g'i 0.2% bo'lsa plummeted. I don't think this is the right word here. Plummet. So maybe dropped. Just dropped. Yep. Alright. B da nima qilishimiz kerak edi? Task B. Then click on show answers to see. B da ham xuddi shunaqa qilishimiz kerak ekan. Which of these problems could affect the task achievement score because the details are inaccurate? Qaysi biri detal inaccurate bo'lgani uchun task achievementga ta'sir qilishi mumkin. Xo'p, ko'ramiz. The figure for motorcycles registered. Bu task achievementga anaqa qilmasdi, inaccurate. I can't remember actually. Which sentence is presenting a minor detail and not a key feature, and so should be rewritten or deleted from the answer? This one. 5, ha? Juda ham kichkina bo'lgan detal aytyapman. 6, 508. Hope. Maybe that's it. Let's see the answers. Yeah, I'm done. I'm finished it. Okay, this is wrong. This is wrong. The figure for motorcycles reached 50,000, registered 50,000, and increased by 20% over the next 5 years. In contrast, despite slight fluctuations, the consumption of fish remained relatively stable. Slight fluctuations, correct? Right? Third one is incorrect. These two figures commenced at similar levels at around 150 grams, but then chicken consumption rose or increased to 100 grams in length, and the consumption fell or dropped to 100. I don't understand. Why are we taking drop? Commence so'zini bilmayman, shunga menimcha xato qildim. Commence kerakli ko'rib o'rganib olamiz. Commence, to begin something. Commence at similar level. Ikkitasi ham, ikkita figure, ya'ni ikkita yashiq. Nima bu yerda haqida gap ketyapti? Chicken consumption va lamb haqida, consumption haqida gap ketyapti ekan. Ikkalasi ham bir xil etapda boshlangan deyapti. Commence is a really good word. I really like it. I'm gonna write it. Tak, yozib qo'yaman bu gapimga. Okay, tushunarli. Xullas xatoyimiz tushunarli. In spite of the slight falling trend in the first decade, yeah, dropped. Qolgani to'g'ri. Bo'ldi, qolganimiz to'g'ri. Xo'p, men bunga javob berishimiz kerak ekan. Which of these problems? Xo'p, task A, vocabulary notes. A machine or measuring instrument can register a number, show this number, but a figure cannot do very much. Demak, figure bo'lgani uchun register so'zini ololmas ekanmiz. Yaxshi, cannot do very much. We use undergo with a negative experience. Undergo so'zi bor edi bu yerda, o'shani almashtirdik. Bu negative experience bilan kelar ekan. It is not appropriate for talking about a rise or a fall in numbers. Aha, demak ko'tarilayotgan yoki tushayotgan raqamlar bilan bu so'zni ishlatish noto'g'ri ekan. Undergo so'zini вообще olib tashlar ekanmiz. We only refer to ebbs and flows when talking about a tide or perhaps when writing literature or poetry. Demak, bu juda ham adabiy so'z ekan. Va odatda suv to'lqinlari haqida gap ketyapganda ishlatilar ekan. Bu yerda ikkini o'rniga o'shani oldik. To fluctuate means to go up and down repeatedly. To oscillate means to move or change repeatedly and is used with a needle on a dial, speedometer. Demak, bu speedometerda ishlatiladigan oscillated so'zi ekan. Oscillated so'zi speedometerda ishlatilar ekan. Bu yerda oscillated so'zini ishlata olmas ekanmiz. Hop. Uchinchi gapimiz edi. Commensation. All right. Declivity is a trough and is a very technical word. Trough. What does trough means? Trough. Container ekan, qanaqadir. And is a very technical word. Judayam texnik so'z ekan. Possibly only use it in a geography. Declivities does not exist. Declivities so'zi mavjud emas ekan. Mavjud bo'lmagan so'z ishlatib olishdi. To plummet means to fall very steeply and sharply. Plummet so'zimiz judayam chuqur tushish, cho'kish degan ma'noni bildiradi. Bu yerda 0.2% tasvirlash uchun shu so'zdan foydalanilgan. Bu xato edi. This is inaccurate here as the figure only fell very slightly. Hop. Number 3 and number 5 are most likely to affect the TA score as these give inaccurate details. Sentence 5 is a minor detail and so should be deleted or rewritten. Yeah. Great. All done. Thank you very much. Close. We will continue later.